Hi, I'm Kylie from XVM, and in this video, we'll be discussing the differences between Confluence in Data Center and in Cloud. To start off, you'll see below this video in the descriptions, there'll be a couple of links that I'll be mentioning. So feel free to access those. Those are Atlassian documentation and Atlassian links that really go through in-depth differences. So feel free to access those for a deeper understanding. And in this video, we'll be demoing some of those best use cases and just an overall demo of what it looks like in a Confluence Cloud space. So the very first thing that I wanted to walk through is the fact that upon creation of a new space, what Confluence does now is it automatically creates a personal space to new logged in users as a default setting. So I'm just going to show you under spaces here. I have a space that was created for me upon creation that I can go into. I can add personal notes there as well. That is something that can be changed by administration, but upon creation and default, that personal space is there. Space settings are a little bit different. So you can edit the sidebar by going to the left side menu. So if you're not seeing that right away, if you're trying to find where that is, a little caret is right here to expand and collapse that. So to go to your space settings, make sure that is expanded. You go into the space settings, and then within there, you can edit that sidebar. So you'll see that here within space settings, we have our manage space details, and within there, that's where you can edit that sidebar if you want to make that accommodation. Cloud Confluence handles links much better than Data Center Confluence does. So whenever you're in a specific Confluence page, if you're wanting to add in links, it's going to run more smoothly. All right, I'm going to switch over to an editing page. So whenever you create a new page and you're wanting to type information, emojis are created in their own button in their own menu. So if you are typing information and real quick you wanted to add an emoji, there is this extensive library that you can click through and find various emojis that you want to insert there. It is also searchable. So if I had a pencil that I wanted to add in, it would be able to add in there. You can also copy and paste that specific emoji as well. While editing in the cloud, the close button is at the top right corner instead of the bottom right. So if you're looking down in the bottom right, you're not seeing it, that button has been moved up there. There are also drafts that are saved and they're under the recent menu. So if I didn't publish this right away and I went back to my main space navigation, if I go under this recent drop down, you'll see in here visited, worked on, drafts, and starred. So if I clicked on drafts, I could see what I was just working on, and it will still display the information that I had. So that's where drafts live there. I'm going to go ahead and publish this to show you another update that is one of my favorites, just a nice shortcut to get you into editing very quickly. So you can still hit E on the keyboard to switch into editing. So I'm glad that one is still there as well. So you just click E if you ever aren't sure, like what was that shorthand again, or that shortcut again. If you hover over the little pencil here, that E will appear showing you that shortcut to go in and edit that page. Something that's a little bit similar is tables do not copy and paste formulas from one place to the other. It can only copy simple numbers and text. So the best option there would be to create a table and then copy that information instead of trying to copy the whole table, because it doesn't copy the paste formulas. All right. Next up, adding labels to a page in Cloud is done by scrolling to the bottom of a page and then adding them there, or going into edit mode, and then it's under the section of the action item button on the top right screen. So to do that, you go into your editing of a page, So once you are in the editing portion of your Confluence page, you'll go to your action menu. It's the top 3 dots at the top right corner. You're going to click on add labels, and then within here, you can start adding multiple labels. It'll tell you if it's a new one. And then I'm going to go ahead and say close. And then if I publish, those labels are listed below there. You can also see that I'm not in edit mode anymore. I'm in my publish view of the page. You can add a label directly within here as well. So that label option is in editing as well as the published page. Another great option that Confluence Cloud offers is the fact that you can embed a Google Drive or an Office 360 file right into the page that can be edited live. So to do that, you would add this link. So you click on the link icon up here in the middle, and you can either paste the specific link or you could type to find the name of the link or the name of the document that you're wanting to add. So I'm just going to name this example doc edit. And then from there, it has options below that will let you embed it. And then you can see specifically the page that is in there. You can come in here and start writing notes, anything you want to add on, and this will be displayed in that specific link that was attached there. So that's a really nice integration as well. Just be mindful that whatever you add in there, Confluence users still have to have access to view that shared file. So even though you add the link and it works in the Confluence space, that external link still has to be shared. So for this example, that access to the Google document had to be shared before it could be visible to me. Next up, we're going to discuss the Excerpt macro, and this is new in Cloud in that you can name the expert of the specific macro. So I'll show you that real quick. So I'm just going to start typing Excerpt. I'm going to click that. You'll see that it creates a box right here for that specific excerpt. And then what you can do now is you can name the part of the page content that other macros can use. So this allows you to identify this macro so you can add it to multiple excerpts onto one page and use a specific one on another page that uses that excerpt include macro as well. So you can give it a name. And then you can select to hide or include the content. So that's just an option that you can have as well. Let me move that picture out of the way. Oh, sorry, move it down here. And then it'll show you that below. And again, you can edit it. That panel to the right will appear by clicking that pencil button. You can go wide, or you could have it the whole length of the page as well. Next up, we're going to dive into templates because in Data Center, there were 17 Confluence page template. Cloud has 129. So we're not going to have time to go through every single one of those, but just want to point you in the right direction so you can navigate to those 129 templates and see if there's one that's already pre-created that could best fit your team's needs if you don't want to start with a blank page. So I'm going to go back to our example page here. And you'll see across the top next to the create button, you'll see templates. When you click on that, it's going to take you to that world of 129 different templates. They're organized into different categories. So if you specifically want a business strategy template, you click on that, you have 28 options you can look through, and you can click use when you find the one that you want to. There are also recommended, listed by recommended. Currently, you could change that to alphabetical if that's more helpful for you. What's also really nice is once you select one off to the right-hand side, it'll give you a breakdown of what that template is going to have. So it kind of gives you this quick preview. You can also click on that Learn More button, and it's going to take you directly to Atlassian documentation to really walk you through an in-depth description of what that specific template is going to do for you. So a lot of great options here, finding what best fits your team needs, and then using that Atlassian documentation can really give you a leg up on starting your organization of your documentation. Next up, we're going to walk through space settings, specifically space permissions. This is another article that we'll add in the bottom description of this video. So there's an Atlassian article that goes into more details about this specific permission, but there's a new group in Cloud called guest users. So I'll show you how to get there. So you're on your in your Confluence space. If you haven't expanded your left-hand panel, go ahead and expand that and go to space settings. Once you get in there and you go under space permissions, so that's on our left-hand side here, you'll see this option for a new group, and that group is called guest users. So if that's something you want to read more about, feel free to click on that link in the description, and then this is where you would access that specifically, right here under this guest users. And you can have up to 5 guests to view a space without using a license. So that's the benefit of the guest users. But again, feel free to reference that article for more details. Moving back into the editing side, I'm going to go back to my example page right here. There's also a restriction that you can add, just like you can in Data Center. It'll just lock it, and it walks you through how do you want to lock this specifically. Anyone can view or edit, or only specific people can view and edit. So if you turn that on, it's going to walk you through specific permissions, just like in Data Center, and then you can apply that. But just the button has moved to the top right instead of in the middle like it was in Data Center. So that's that difference there. You can also, within a page, schedule a publish. So maybe you have your edits all ready to go, but you don't want it to be visible until a certain time. If you click on the 3 buttons in the top right and you go to this action menu here, you can click on schedule publish. It'll walk you through specific date and time options, and then you can schedule that publish to happen. All right, we're going to go back to our main page space here and talk through the fact that you can add a banner image to the top of the page over the title. So if that's some customization that you would like to add in, Confluence Cloud does offer that. There is also a presenter mode that is located over here at the top actions menu of a published page. So that's just one thing to know, that it has to be published, but you can go to more options, click on presenter mode, or that shorthand of R, and it's going to expand the page for you, take you out of that edit mode and make it more interactive for meetings or other ways in which you'll need to present this information. And if you ever want to get out of that, you just press exit. The final change that we're going to walk through now has to do with automation, which is very new and fresh to Cloud specifically. So let's walk through that. So this is under our admin settings cog. So if you have the permissions to be an administrator, you'll have access to this. So within here, you'll go to the left-hand menu, and up towards the very top, you'll see global automations. There's some really interesting rules to build, like adding labels to a page when a specific user makes a new page. So it has this whole library of automations that are added. And then there's also a way in which to create rules and automate tasks with those few clicks, and to look through any of those rules and their uses or usage, and the if it was executed correctly by the Confluence automation system. So those are just a few of the differences in Cloud Confluence. Feel free to, again, look through all of the links that we'll be putting at the bottom of this video for additional details. They'll be listed there with descriptions as well. I hope this has been helpful to you, and best of luck on your cloud Confluence journey. Have a great day.